learnt to tell the time to o'clock and half past, we start looking at the fractions quarter. So quarter of the way around is quarter past. Half past we've already learnt, and once you've gone 3/4 of the way around, we only have quarter of an hour to the next hour, so we call it quarter to. So now we can see the time is 7 o'clock. If I add 15 minutes, this is where the minute hand ends up. The reason it's 15 minutes is because 15 is a quarter of 60, and as we've said earlier, there are 60 minutes in an hour. Now just remember that the minute hand has got nothing to do with the visible numbers. So the mistake children often make is they will say it's 7-3 or 3-7. So the only hand that relates to these big numbers is the hour hand. So we can see the hour is in the hour of 7, but it's a little bit past 7. So then we need to look at the minute hand to see how far past 7 it's gone. And we can use a fraction. So if you divide this circle into quarters, we can see the minute hand has gone quarter past. And here we think of this as a journey, that the hour hand has gone quarter of the way to 8 o'clock. It's gone quarter past 7. So this shows quarter past 7. Now the confusing thing is we tell the time using these words, like a fraction, quarter past, but we can also say it in minutes. So if we have a look at the digital clock, we can see there are 7 hours and 15 minutes. So as we said just before, 15 is the same as a quarter of 60. So it's 15 minutes past, and it's also quarter past. These are the same thing. One little trick for knowing how many minutes have gone by is if you know your 5 times table. So if this is pointing to 3, then you can do 3 times 5. 3 times 5 is 15. That tells us that 15 minutes have gone by. We can see these little lines here. There are 5 minutes in each jump, each big jump. So 5, 10, 15. 3 5s are 15. Okay, let's add another quarter of an hour. So another 15 minutes. 15 minutes and 15 minutes make 30. So we've already done half past. We know that makes half past. The next one is tricky, so just listen carefully. If I add another quarter of an hour, that's 3/4 past, but instead of saying that, we like to say what's easiest. So we say that time is quarter to 8. So just take a moment to look at the hour hand. The hour hand hasn't reached 8 yet. It's still in the hour of 7. But we like to say the easiest thing. So we like to say, well, it's nearly 8 o'clock. And we like to say how nearly? It's quarter to 8. That's how nearly. It's only 15 minutes to go until 8 o'clock. But if you look at the digital time, it will still be in the hour of 7. And if we want to know how many minutes, we can use 9 times 5 to help us. 9 5s are 45. So we have 7 hours and 45 minutes. Look, 7:45. 7 hours and 45 minutes. And if you know your maths, you'll know that there are 15 minutes left until we get to 60, which is the full hour, which is why it's 15 minutes to 8, or we call it quarter to 8. Okay, I'm just going to give you another example by adding 2 full hours, so it looks a bit different. So again, here's another time, and the common mistake is to call this time 9:10 or 10:09, but remembering that minute hand doesn't relate to these big numbers. These big numbers are for the hours. So we start with the hour hand. We can see that the hour is nearly 10, but we're still in the hour of 9. So it's 9 something or something to 10. It's between 9 and 10. So then we can use the minute hand to help us, and we can say, well, it's gone 1/4, 2/4, 3/4 of the way, so that there is quarter of an hour left until 10 o'clock. This time is quarter to 10. We can also say it as a number. We can say, well, how many minutes past 9 has it gone? Hasn't got to 10 yet. How many minutes past 9 has it gone? We can use our 5 times table to help us. 9 5s are 45. So it should be 9 hours, because this hasn't got to 10 yet, and 45 minutes. Let's check that on the digital time. 9:45. There we go.